Hello out there, and welcome to the Heavy Montez Comedy Show. Oh, let's put this music down a little bit here. Welcome to the Heavy Montez Comedy Show. Not America. Somebody came to you and said, I am running for President of the United States. But before I run, I want to see Barack Obama's birth certificate. You see what I'm saying? Came down a golden escalator, America. Told the people that he was going to make America great again. Told the people that he was going to get rid of all the Hispanic people, including the farmers. Said that the Hispanics were rapists and liars and cheats and crooks. Even though we found out that he's a convict, some say a rapist, 28 women. One woman said he raped her in a department store when she was, I guess, trying to change clothes. That convict, the people voted for, said he was going to lead them, America, to the promised land. That's what the Baggett Church said. You see what I'm saying? But the people he was leading was the people who wrote Project 2025. These people today, America, are in charge of our government. They have a written plan, written down in advance. They told the American people, here we tried to tell them, welcome to my comedy show again. I tried to tell the people, not, excuse me, not to vote for Donald Trump, but they didn't listen to me. They said they needed the price of eggs to be cheaper. They said the economy wasn't moving fast enough, and Joe Biden was sleepy. So they're gonna, elect Donald Trump. Donald Trump is following the Project 25 playbook, America. You see what I'm saying? You see what Heavy is saying? He is following the playbook. You know, he is getting rid of the Hispanic people doing all these bad things, and the aforementioned things I just said, a few of them. He is not doing anything to help the American people. We are under attack by our own government, sending soldiers into our cities, America, sending soldiers into our cities, beating up women, you know, taking away, you know, husbands from wives, arresting the wrong people, broke the man's neck. America, our government, got their faces covered up, won't even show their faces because they know what they are doing is wrong. I want to go into the shutdown. Now, Donald Trump and the OMB director, who is the architect of Project 2025, said they're going to lay people off in mass. Okay? Their job is not to decrease unemployment. Their job is to increase unemployment. Anything they could do, America, to hurt the American people, put us against each other. You know. Now I've been talking to my maggot friends, and I am very happy to report that I'm having about a 95%, you know, of the people that I'm talking to that were formerly maggots that are now on board with on the Heavy Montez train. These people are saying to me how hurt they are. I talked to a lady, she was a big maggot supporter. And I told you, if you listen to my previous podcast, that I met this beautiful lady. She's about 80 years old, white woman, hair as white as mine. And she had a shop. In the shop, she has everything she sells, nothing but my liberal buddies buy it, but purchase these items. She had organic soap and all the stuff that Heavy likes to keep me looking good at 70 years old. Anyway, she told me that she was voting for the unborn. She said the unborn and everything, she was important to her and all. I want to respect this lady because this lady was really cool. And she told me, she said, you know, tell your friends about this. I said, yeah, but I'm not buying nothing from no maggot, no matter how pretty and old she is. Because my friends would have went there and bought up everything she had, because that's the kind of stuff we like. We liberals, you know, especially progressives. We like to look good. Well, anyway, I saw her again, and she looked sad. She wasn't as pretty as she looked. She told me, she said, young man, because I guess she don't know I'm old like her. She said, I made a big mistake. And I've been talking about her too. I was like, oh no, I said, you didn't make no mistake. I said, I made an excuse for her. I said, Trump had a good game. And she said, excuse me, she said, yeah, but if she know, because she told me, she said, I am not voting with anybody else but Donald Trump. Get out my face, old man, when I was in the store. So now she changed her mind. So I'm feeling that all of us, all the maggots can change their minds. Maggots, I mean, sometimes the people you love and look up to the most hurt you. Could be anyone. They hurt you real bad. And Donald Trump hurt a lot of people. You know, and he already hurt us, progressives. You know, I had when he got elected, I was sitting in the house. I stopped drinking, looking at the bottle of liquor. Should I drink or should I not? So Heavy said, "Look, I'm gonna start this podcast." And that's how I did it, talking to you. And I want to thank everybody. We just went over 500 subscribers. We hadn't been online that long, short time, 502 to be exact. Thank you again. And tell everybody about the Heavy Montes podcast. I'm improving. I'm getting better. I'm a rookie, So I'm getting better at this. I'm improving the platform, website, you know, uh, and my newsletter's coming up. Okay, because I don't have anything to do but this. Okay, and I'm having a lot of fun. But America, let's continue to reach out to our maggot friends. You know, the hurt for us is severe. You know, we were hurting, but I don't think it do us any good to pile on now. Because everything the maggots are doing, because everything Donald Trump touches turns to shit. Okay, if you associate with Donald Trump, you go to jail. Your reputation, all that's gone. So we have to get him off of the out of being the president. Okay, so our luck could change. You see what I'm trying to tell you? He bad luck, man. you know, I mean, it's like he never do the right thing. It's always the opposite for BS. Do the right thing. Be George Bush. Do the right thing and tell Obama the economy is bad. Be George Herbert Walker Bush, who lost his presidency because he had to take and go back on his word and tax America when he said, read my lips, there will be no new taxes. He said, read my lips, I'm saving my country. I don't give a damn about this job. You know what I'm saying? The American people come first, but not Donald Trump and the Republican Party. You know. Now, see, somebody said, even though you maggots, Donald Trump said you're dumb and ignorant, and I think you are politically. Now you have to fall back on your common sense. Okay, if somebody is not doing exactly what they told you they were going to do and doing the complete opposite, I'm not a dictator. Just on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. You know, you know, going after his after people. And also I'm gonna say something to you guys. It's ironic. The Republican Party is eating themselves. Now, I'm gonna give you an example about the FBI. Heavy Monty was a supervisor, and every year we had to go to supervisory training. And supervisory training lasts a couple of days. Sometimes a week. And they go through this whole freaking book, telling you what you can do and what you can't do. Okay, that's how good the federal government is when it comes to supervising. They send you to school, okay? And there were tons of FBI agents in my class, and you know me, heavy as a talkative person. If I see you, I'm gonna come over and talk to you. And I talked to everybody, became friends with everybody. So they never told me that, they were Republicans or Democrats, but by their conversation, I could tell. You see what I'm saying? And I've never met a Democratic FBI agent. Also, America has had little or no uh, Democrat FBI agents. The Democrats stay away from that. Democrats say, hey, we got an FBI agent, that's their job. I don't give a damn. We don't know if he's Republican or Democrat. We don't give a shit. He's a law enforcement officer. He's an honorable person. Okay, so we ain't questioning that shit. Okay, not until we hire Cash Patel. We don't trust that. We don't trust him. Oh, Dan Bongino, none of them clowns. We don't trust them. But the FBI is. So I'm saying they're destroying the FBI. The people who they're firing are Republicans. I bet you right now, if you go out and you ask all of those FBI agents who are being fired right now, they'll tell you they're Republicans. You know why? Because Republicans were the party of law and order, and they were the ones we need to hire back there. See what I'm saying? Law and order, right? Nobody questioned that shit back then. They were law and order. They try to give you the best time you can get. You see what I'm trying to tell you? They just went bad with Trump because everything Trump touch turns to shit. Take it from the old man. You know what I'm saying? You know, see, so I don't want when you're walking down a yellow brick road, with a scarecrow, and somebody who didn't have a brain. You know what I'm saying? Like the scarecrow. The scarecrow seeked out, to get a brain. You know what I'm saying? Hunt for it. But the Republican Party take away your brain, okay? Because you gotta be stupid to vote for a convict, a rapist, a misogynist, somebody say a Russian spy, and he tell you, and he has Project 2025 just a threat. Project 2025 should have been enough for your ass not to vote for that creep. But now we're in this together. Donald Trump is destroying the red states first. He's done get you guys in. You know, get rid of those governors. Don't vote for them. Join the heavy Montes, Democrat Party registration drive. Huh? Heavy Montes say never ever vote for a Republican again. Huh? They have committed treason against our nation. They have attacked the American people. You see what I'm trying to say? The American people come in all sizes, shapes, and forms, and all colors, and all races, they say. And we will not be identified as white males. We will not be identified as nothing but Americans. You understand? Huh? We are free to worship and love who the hell and marry who the hell we want. Clarence Thomas, they said he married a big fat pig. Huh? No one said a damn thing about it. Huh? And I call her a big fat pig. You know why? Because I think she has something to do with the January 6th thing. I think that she is an operative for maggots and the Republican Party. Huh? Out there speaking, standing in front of people. Oh, thank you. We need to do this here. Those liberals are so bad. And those homosexuals and gay people, they got a flag. Come on, America. Come on, America. Her husband looked like a fool. You know, I want to check and see if he got his freedom papers. Somebody to tell him that he's free. He ain't a slave no more. But they said one thing about Clarence Thomas. They said he making some money. They buying him shit. You know what I'm trying to tell you? He said he getting paid. You see? It's a game, shell game. I tell you, they all getting paid. You know, everybody getting paid except the American people, and they're using our money, your money, my money. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you the truth. I told you. Heavy still missing 3 teeth. Lady told me when I went to the dentist yesterday, she said, we can't do anything and put your teeth until February the 2nd. I said, good. Give me time to save some more damn money. $2,500 a teeth. And the American people keep falling out their head like heavies. You know what I'm saying? People are sick. Now we're gonna go to the shutdown right now. Now I'm also gonna talk about the Republican lie right quick because shit, they lie so damn much. The health care that the Democratic Party proposed, okay, is primarily talking about U.S. citizens. And because there's a caveat here, the Republicans will set your ass up. You don't know what you're doing. If you're a legal immigrant, you got a visa, and you're legally here, then you can use the hospitals. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense. And there's a lot of people like that. But the Republicans have grouped everybody into one little group and saying immigrants. When without the little group, without the legal people, it's very small. Okay, you know, you know. Excuse me. Without the immigrants, it's very small. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Right. So, and it's against the law to, you know, the Republicans made a law, that new bill, that big poison bill, that you can't treat an immigrant that don't have the right papers if they don't have their freedom papers with them. You see what I'm trying to tell you? You see what I'm trying to tell you, man, America? So you're a Spanish person, your arm cut off, and you walk into the dang on hospital and they're gonna ask you for freedom papers, you'd be gotten bled to death. This is some cruel shit. That's what I tell you, they're cruel. They're cruel. They'll save a dollar any goddamn way where it can. They'll sacrifice as many people. They say 200 million they want to kill of us. They want to leave 98 million of them. All white, they say. Mm-hmm. That's what they talk about. That's what I heard, you know. But we ain't putting up with that shit. You can't get rid of 200 million people. They're crazy. I'm just trying to tell you. So now you understand. The Republicans want to shut the government down because Donald Trump don't want the Jeffrey Epstein files coming out. They're close to losing control of the House because they need to swear in this one lady who just won, in Arizona, and the Republican, majority in the House gets even narrow. And I'm calling for everybody in New York. If you are a Republican in the House in New York, you must walk across the aisle because our state is under attack. Defend New York, Republicans. Huh? It is time for you to switch over, Mike Lawler, and show you are moderate. Because a moderate would never allow their state to suffer. Huh? A moderate will not. Donald Trump is talking about taking $18 billion away from infrastructure from New York. And the system is crumbling. People can die on the trains. He don't care. Because he's a pig. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Comedy Show, the Heavy Monte Podcast, saying never, ever vote for a Republican. And please subscribe to the Heavy Monte YouTube channel and help us reach 1,000 subscribers, America. And have a great day and laugh. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the comedy show of a maggot Republican Party.